It's official. The San Francisco 49ers are the most talented team in the league. It's not worth arguing. They're 9-0 when healthy. They blew the doors off the Cowboys and humiliated the Eagles. When healthy, this roster, even missing their great safety, Hufanga, to an injury, it's the best roster in the league. It's not particularly close. I mean, Brock Purdy against the Cowboys and Eagles, 8 touchdowns, no picks. He's a 7th-round pick. But, and it's a big but, their physical style and the age of some of San Francisco's stars, they are weathered, they've taken a lot of hits, they get banged up, makes them vulnerable to injuries. And that's what we all knew, right? We've talked about this. Philadelphia's best chance, Baltimore's best chance, the Chiefs' best chance, Detroit's best chance, the Cowboys' best chance is to catch the Niners in a week that Trent Williams has got a sore hammy or, Debo's not quite right. That's your chance to beat them. Because at full strength, they humiliate you. They don't humiliate the bad teams. They humiliate the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th best teams in the league. What is Brock Purdy? Well, he's first in everything in the NFL. First in completion percentage, yards per attempt, passer rating. Is he the next Brady? Kurt Warner, Hall of Famer, undrafted. Tony Romo, undrafted, great player. Tom Brady, Hall of Famer, GOAT, 6th-rounder. I don't view him as that. I view him, however, as a product of his environment to some degree. I think he's good, but I don't view him as a top 5 or 6 quarterback. But what he's great at in this system is he's great at what he is being asked to do. And Philadelphia in this matchup has a huge issue that's not going away. Their cornerbacks and their linebackers are kind of just guys. And San Francisco's skill players, tight end, receivers, running backs, are Hall of Fame level players. It is a big problem that's not going away. Trade deadline's passed. It's not changing. That's why San Francisco's Deebo Samuel was talking trash. That's why the staff was confident and coached the way it did. They look at film. They're better at this than us. They saw Deebo and Kittle and Ayuk and Christian McCaffrey and Trent Williams and Brock Purdy, and they looked at that secondary and those linebackers, and they knew this is a mismatch. You watched it. It was a mismatch against Dallas. But it's more problematic against Philadelphia because Dallas has some players on the back end. Your Micah Parsons, Bland now at corner, Stephon Gilmore. Philadelphia is pretty weak back there. And we have to be honest about Philadelphia. They lost both linebackers, and they lost both coordinators. And they were good coordinators. Their offensive coordinator now could make the playoffs with Gardner Minshew. They lost great people in the building. And so all those blowout wins, the margins have changed. Last year, their defense was 8th. This year, it's 24th. Last year, Jalen Hurts played comfortably and with huge leads. Now he often trails, and he's outgained. The NFL season is truth serum. You eventually, the weather gets crappy, your team's dinged up, and the truth comes out. And the truth is, San Francisco's the most talented team in the league. Philadelphia may be second, but they're way back. And Philadelphia, another truth, misses their great offensive coordinator, Shane Steichen, who's taking Gardner Minshew to the playoffs. They're not the same offense. And frankly, they're very average on the back. Very average. And so from 8th to 24th in defense, from leads to falling behind on offense, you saw it. San Francisco's got better players, a better coach, and right now a better system and better momentum. They play again, it won't be a blowout. It's hard to blow out really good teams twice, but that was a statement, and it wasn't a fluke or luck. Better player, better coach, better momentum, better health, blowout. All right, Green Bay, Kansas City. Brutal call at the end. We'll talk about that later. But the most encouraging part of Jordan Love's performance last night, A, he had no fear of letting it rip now, and B, Matt LaFleur is now allowing him to let it rip. They were not in the preseason. They were not in September. Love was awful in October. There was a lot of hand-holding. We kept saying it. Let it go. When you watch Jordan Love, he'll never be as precise as Aaron Rodgers. There's a lot more Favre here. He's mobile. He's got a good arm, but he can be erratic. His mechanics, hit and miss, throw to throw. But there's some Favre here. And with Favre, you understood there would be ugly picks. He would miss throws. He would be wild, but he was a gamer, and he could go toe-to-toe with anybody. And I think Favre and Jordan Love, now I'm not saying he is Favre, but he made a couple throws last night. He's not going to be precise. That's not what he is. His game, like Favre's, is built around swagger and confidence. And when he's allowed, remember, we kept saying this over and over, Matt, let him go. He's the kind of athlete that needs he needs some space. He's not a precision thrower. He's not Peyton, right? Like not Russell Wilson, no mistakes, although he had 3 yesterday. There's certain players that play certain ways. They're kind of predictable. You know what they're going to do. Even when they move around, it's kind of predictable. That's not Favre. That's not Josh Allen. That's not Mahomes. And that's not Jordan Love, though he's not in that class yet. You got a little bit of this, a little bit of that, but he was bad in October. He looked apprehensive in September, and he didn't look like anything in the preseason because they wouldn't let him do anything. But what he has now is buy-in in the building, and this is a big deal. Justin Fields has no buy-in in the building. How do I know that? Because watch the play calls. They don't trust Justin Fields. They don't trust Zach Wilson in New York. They don't trust Mac Jones or Bailey Zappi. They don't trust him. You can tell from the play calls. What last night showed you, and I said this last week, I don't care if he wins or loses, he's got to get buy-in in the building. And he's got it. You can tell from the throws. They're just letting him let it go. They were not in preseason. They were not in September. They started to in October. But Matt LaFleur deserves credit for just saying, this kid's style, you could see it on YouTube at Utah State. You could see it last night in the last 2 weeks. He's not going to be a precise thrower all the time. He's going to have bad picks and wild throws. But that's not how he's not built to be precise. That was Brady. That's Kirk Cousins. That's Drew Brees. That's not what Jordan Love is. And I think Matt LaFleur deserves a lot of credit. You also have to consider this. One of the things, and we've been on this for years, one of the things Green Bay does, and they don't get a lot of credit for, is that they draft and develop offensive players about as well as anybody, and they almost never draft them in the first round. Tight ends, receivers, running backs. I mean, good God, they've drafted more wide receiver talent in the last 2 years than Belichick has in 18 years. Dobbs, Watson, Wicks, Reed, Kraft, the tight end. They got players all over the place. They're all twitchy. Watson gets banged up a lot, a bit fragile, but there's all sorts of talent here, and generationally, they're Jordan Love's age. Aaron Rodgers felt like an old front man and the band was a bunch of hipsters. Like he didn't feel like it worked. This is perfect. Jordan Love's young, talented, he'll make mistakes. And Watson will drop passes. And Dobbs will run the wrong route. And Jordan Love won't be frustrated with him because he's their age. They're all learning together. There's an inertia, a symmetry. It's all moving in one direction. Aaron was a great talent, but it was the old guy rolling his eyes at the kids. This is like a young band. They'll hit some notes and miss on others. But more than anything, he's got the buy-in from the staff. They're letting him let it go, and they were not early. And, it's interesting. What Matt LaFleur is saying is we wanted him to let it go, but he wouldn't let it go. And maybe it was the pressure of Rodgers. It's title town. There's a lot of pressure being a Cowboy quarterback, a Steeler quarterback, a Packer quarterback, right? LaFleur is saying we wanted him to just let it go. So maybe it was Jordan Love not letting it go, but whatever it is, he does not look like the same player he did a month ago. He doesn't even look like the same player. Last night, that throw to Watson in the back of the end zone, whoa. Everybody, the announcers were like, what a catch. I was like, yeah, the catch is fine. I've seen that before. That was a top 5 throw of the year. That was that was Favre. That was Mahomes. That was Allen. So we don't know what he's going to be. But he's not a precision thrower. That's not what he is. He's a tall, mobile athlete who can back foot it, side arm it, throw with no stability, and some are magic, and some are ugly. But it's fun to watch. I work at Fox. We have Packer games. That was a good quality product. That was fun to watch. Remember years ago when Mahomes faced Goff in L.A. and Goff played really well? Win or lose, and he won, he got buy-in in the building. People went, oh, Goff can play in these games. That's really important. And Jordan has it and delivered. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.